so encaptured, got me wrapped up in your touch. Feel so enamored, hold me tight within your clutch.
Hey guys! So today I'm excited because we're going to spend a night in a yurt, and I have never been in a yurt before. I feel like I'm kind of going full-blown vegan hippie, but that's okay. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. If you watched my last video about my depression and my addiction, then you probably heard the part where I said that I felt like my life had become a box. And what I meant by that is my world had become very small because I was just in my apartment, which is essentially 4 walls, and it's a box. And I had been spending most of my time just cooking and cleaning in this box. Like, I was always trying to keep the dirt and nature out of the box, and I wasn't going outside, and I got very, very depressed. And it's so important to be outside. We're actually designed and meant to be outside most of the time, but in reality, we spend a lot of our time in what I call boxes. So for most of us, we sleep and live in our box. We wake up in the morning, we drive in a box to a bigger box, which is our work, and we're there for 8 hours or more. Then we drive back in our box, which is our car, and then we go straight to our box again, which is our house. And a lot of us, including myself, we don't take that time, even though we're busy, to spend even 10-15 minutes outside and just actually enjoy being outside, smelling the roses and breathing the fresh air and just feeling connected to the earth, appreciating what we have in life. I've begun to do that every day, and I feel so much better. So I went on my box rant to my husband, Chris, and he found us a yurt, which is a circle, and I thought that was like the sweetest thing. He was like, "Do you want to go somewhere that's not in a box?" I was like, yes, I am down for that. So I will record while I'm there and show you what it looks like. I'll do a little bit of vlogging about our stay there, and I will see you guys in a bit. Finally decided to come out and stop raining, so now we're going to the coast, and look at the parking lot, you guys. It's like almost completely flooded. That's how you know the rain is heavy here. You excited, Skittles? Skittles! Let's go to the beach. I've never been to a beach before. For the first time. So there's a lot of rain around. There it is.
So captured, got me wrapped up in your touch. Feel so enamored, hold me tight within your clutch. How do you do it? You got me losing every breath. What did you give me to make my heart beat out my chest? Now I've got you in my space, I won't let go again. Got you shackled in my embrace, I'm latching onto you. I feel we're close enough. I wanna lock in your love. I think we're close enough. Could I lock
finally made it to the yurt. So we're outside, and it looks like we are right next to a trail, which is pretty awesome. Check that out later if it's not too rainy. It's really rainy and really cold, so we'll see what we can do in a day. So here is one of the tables outside. Here's the fire pit. Then that looks like the trail and the outside of the yurt. Pretty excited. Then we have a faucet with a drain, and we are at Windchuck. Another picnic table. A little bit of a covering, but it looks like everything is still wet. A bench. A light for the outside. Oh, and a place to clean my shoes before I get in. That's convenient. And it also has a lock. So let's go inside. Oh, and the outside looks like it has a tarp for the rainy season. Okay. So here we are inside. Oh, it's so cute! Oh my gosh, so it's kind of like camping, but glamour camping, so glamping. It's got a bunk bed. Looks like one person can fit up there. And then a bigger bed. It looks like two people is probably where we'll be sleeping. And, oh, it has windows, but since the tarp is on, you can't see out them. It's like a fire extinguisher. Ooh, electricity. We have lights. And then we also have a heater, which is awesome because it is so cold right now. Got some coat hangers, got a mirror, and it looks like this couch turns into a bed. Two chairs, place to eat, another coat hanger, a little space in the corner, and just a broom, dustpan, and a trash can. So wow. Oh, and this gives it a lot of light, a skylight. It's really nice. Ceiling kind of looks like a sun. Looks like you can even open it there with this long stick here. But it's nice for the light since you can't open the windows at the moment. A nice hard floor. So yeah, it's nice. I think Chris and I and the puppies will be comfortable. Almost like a really big tent. We just got back from our overnight camping at the Yurt, and it was a lot of fun. I'm so glad we got to do that. I still don't know that much about depression and the different kinds of depression and what can cause it, but I think for me it was environmental because I was kind of thrown into a new environment and I'm having to build a new life for myself, and that just got very overwhelming and scary, and I was isolating myself a lot, just staying in my house or my box, so to speak, and moving away from my friends and not having a job and not just really seeing anybody. But I feel so much better. I actually don't feel like I'm depressed anymore. I didn't end up seeing a therapist. I got to a point where I was planning on it, but I didn't, and I don't think I will. And I'm not saying that therapy is a bad thing. I'm a very pro-therapy. I've had great therapists in the past, and it taught me so much. But right now, I'm at a point where I don't feel like I need one. And I'm not taking medication. I don't feel like I need that either. As soon as I figured out that I was depressed, which was actually probably the hardest part, then I looked into like why I was depressed, and then I was able to make changes, even small changes, to help myself feel not depressed anymore. And one of the biggest things I've been trying to do is to get outside every day, even for half an hour at least, but usually an hour. And just going for a walk, a bike ride, a jog, anything. That literally makes me feel so happy. I notice a huge difference. I read a quote somewhere that said that we often forget that we come from nature. So if we feel like we've lost our connection to nature, then we've lost our connection to ourselves. And I can definitely say that I did feel that way. Like I just kind of lost the sense of like who I was and my connection to society. I was just very isolated. And it was really nice going away for a night because I didn't have any electronic devices. I had my phone, but I don't have data, like a lot of data, so I wasn't using it. I wasn't checking social media, and I didn't have, we didn't have internet, so I didn't have my computer. We didn't have TV, and for the first time, I just kind of sat in silence because out in nature where we were, it was very, very quiet. And it rained, and I listened to the rain on the yurt, and I just felt at peace. I just felt very calm, and I felt very centered, which I haven't felt in an incredibly long time, so it was very, very nice to just kind of feel peaceful for a moment. And I love the water coming from Florida. I love beaches. Even though it's too cold to get in pretty much all the time here, it was really pretty to see and just walk along the beach. And I'm just really overall feeling back to my old self. I feel happy again, like I feel like I enjoy the things that I used to enjoy, that I didn't while I was depressed. Like I'm having fun doing those things again. And even things like food tastes better. I didn't even know that depression could cause senses to be so dull, even like our taste buds, that I just didn't even enjoy food. And I've always been a big foodie. I love trying new foods, and that just wasn't even doing it for me anymore. It just feels really good to be back to the old me. And I just want to thank you all who left me very supportive comments and messages after my last video. A lot of people reached out, including family, and it's been really nice having people to talk to who understand what I'm going through. I'm also reading more, which is something I used to love when I was younger, so I'm also reading to kind of get myself off the computer more. And I just kind of leave the TV off for the most part during the day while I'm running my errands or cooking or cleaning, and that's helped a lot too. And finally, the last change I made was I finally went to my first meetup group. If you haven't heard of Meetup, meetup.com is a place where you can find different groups that do different activities based on people's interests. So I signed up for a vegan meetup, for example, and I'll get to meet some other vegans as well. And the first group that I finally got to attend was actually an introvert social, which I wasn't sure how that works because most introverts aren't social and don't want to go out. But I made myself do it, and we had a board game night, and we played Taboo, which I'd never played before. It was really fun, and I met some really cool people. And there are so many groups here in my town, and there's so many things I'm actually interested in. I'm going to go to as many as possible, and hopefully I'll just keep meeting people, and eventually I will make new friends. So that's actually a big change, but these are the things I'm doing to better myself, to break out of my old habits and my old routine, to get myself past my depression and hopefully not fall into another one. And I just want to say, always remember, you are not alone, even if you feel isolated such as I did. There are so many people in this world. You can always find someone to talk to, and if you feel down and you don't know why, if you think you might be depressed, make sure to tell somebody, whether it's a parent, a sibling, a friend, a doctor, just tell someone and make sure to get help as soon as you think something's wrong. And hopefully it won't escalate like mine did, but now that I know the signs and I can recognize when I'm kind of spiraling, I know what to do and like when to seek help. So remember, there's always help out there. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks again for all the love and support. And thank you for all the positive vibes. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.